To Jesus be all glory, honor, and praise. Majesty, kingdom, authority, flow from his throne unto his home, his sanctum reign. So exalt, lift up on high the name of Jesus. Magnify, come glorify Christ Jesus the King. Majesty, worship his majesty. Jesus who died, now glorified, King of all kings. Jesus who died, now glorified, King of all kings. That was written by Pastor Jack Hayford from California. Some of y'all might watch him on television on Sunday mornings. Majesty was the theme song of Dr. Billy Graham's Mission England crusade. The longest time he ever spent in one place, 3 months during the summer of 1984. Dr. Graham and his team were over there. Cliff Barras, Mr. Shea, of course. And I was in England recently doing a concert tour, doing some of these Easter programs, and I noticed they were having a scientific poll. You might not have heard of it. It's kind of like the Gallup poll. It's called the Morley poll. It's a British poll, and it's very scientific, just like the Gallup poll, and most of the time they get it right, they say. The Morley people did a representative sample of adults aged 18 and over in 55 constituencies throughout Great Britain, and they found to their great surprise that 34% of the people they interviewed did not know why Easter is celebrated. This is England, the mother country where we got our system of government, you know, the 2 houses of Parliament, Congress, the Senate. 34% of the people they interviewed didn't know why Easter is celebrated. Some people said, well, don't they have an Easter egg hunt or something in Hyde Park? Somebody said, well, it's a parade, isn't it? Don't they have an Easter parade somewhere? Is it New York City? And then some other people said, my wife gets a new spring outfit. 39% of the people that the Morley poll interviewed said they didn't know what happened on Good Friday. But 85% of the people polled said they were Christians. 85% claimed to be Christians, but 39% didn't know what happened on Good Friday. Anybody here know what the shortest verse in the Bible is?
Jesus wept.
All right, we got some folks who go to Sunday school around here. John 11:35, just 2 words. Jesus wept. Tells you a lot about him, doesn't it? Jesus wept, mostly over us. And here's another verse, not quite as short as that, but equally important. Mark 14:50, and they all left him and fled. They all left him and fled. John 19:1-6, 16-19. Then Pilate took Jesus and had him flogged. I never thought much about that because I thought it was just like, you know, a whip. But the Romans were expert at torturing people, brutally torturing them. They say they would tie little thongs of leather at the end of the whip and put little pieces of sharp metal in the end of each thong, so that when you flogged somebody, when a Roman soldier flogged you, those little barbs of metal would cut through the flesh on your back to the bone. Some people complained about Mel Gibson's movie and said it was too brutal. It was not a Sunday school picnic. They flogged Jesus. Then the soldiers twisted together a crown of thorns and stuck it up on his head. Those were thorns sticking into his head. They clothed him in a purple robe and went up to him again and again, saying, "Hail, King of the Jews!" They struck him in the face and they beat him. Once more, Pilate came out and said to the people, "Look, I'm bringing him out to you to let you know I find no basis for a charge against this man." Then Jesus came out wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe, and Pilate said to the people, "Here is the man." As soon as the chief priests and officials saw him, they shouted, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" Pilate answered and said, "You take him and crucify him. As for me, I find no basis for a charge against him." But finally, Pilate, washing his hands, turned him over to them to be crucified. So the soldiers took charge of Jesus. Carrying his own cross, he went out to the place of the skull, which in Aramaic is called Golgotha. Here they crucified him, and with him 2 others, one on each side and Jesus in the middle. Pilate had a notice prepared and fastened to the cross, and it read, "Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews." On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. I love that old cross, where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. You know that? So I'll cherish the old rugged cross. Help me if you know. Till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. For 30 years he walked this earth. When death was near, he spoke of birth and taught us all what love was worth, with no demands. He only asked that we believe his love would last, though he would leave. And even then, he'd keep us in the best of hands. In perfect trust, he lifted up the best of hands. In perfect love, he fulfilled the master plan. They drove the nails in the best of hands. 'Twas not the nails that held him to that tree, but Jesus' love for you and me.